ban right here, and I'm interested to see how that works out. Already you can see the Echo banned away from Corn. They're not even going to chance it. Yasuo banned away from Insec and Corn.
Spams that.
Yep, and Kalista taken away from Deft to be safe, so no chances there. Sivir is still available, so too is that Alistar. Standard meta stuff so far.
Standard meta.
He said
Yasuo.
referring to the Yasuo. It was expected, to say the least.
You know, Nautilus keeps getting banned. I acquired so much information preparing for the Nautilus Top Talk where I could like, this is the numbers, this is how it works, this is why they're doing it, and they're like, nope, never going to play it again.
Yeah, it's never going to be seen. They're going to wait until the grand finals of the LPL, the very last Game 5, and you're going to be like, look at this wealth of information that I've had prepared.
And this is their rune page, and this is why they do it. It's not that interesting.
She's not kidding, too. She played for like an hour yesterday experimenting with different Nautilus builds. Then
Just
went into
in
solo,
bot games.
Yeah, then went into solo queue to try it, and it was banned every time.
It was unfortunate. But here we go. Last two bans is going to be Ryze and Alistar, which means, hey, I think I've seen that champion before.
Yeah, is that Sivir? Awful severe choice from him.
So Sivir's not banned this time around. We talked about how EDG, they kind of in their sets, they take one where they obviously experiment with it. You know, they have very specific compositions. And then game 2, they kind of go back to the tried and true favorite. So no surprise that the immediate first pick priority from blue side is that Sivir, as I expect EDG will kind of go back into EDG mode.
Yeah, so Rek'Sai still open, so too is that Gragas, and do not pass that Hecarim. If Corn steals away this Azir, that leaves Hecarim open for Amazing J, and the Hecarim Sivir is an option right now. Yeah, there's the Azir and the Rek'Sai.
I'm glad that you brought that up. I always say that by first picking Sivir, it pretty much forces the second rotation from purple side to be the Hecarim because it's just so potent a combination. But EDG, they don't even want it. They don't even care.
Apparently not. Clearlove looking to go back to that Gragas. As Baimi was hovering the Victor, doesn't need to worry about that just yet. And yeah, it's going to be Mako taking that very scary Annie. We've seen him play a nice slow calm Annie, but we've also seen him play a 4-minute murder mode Annie.
He's 18-2, I believe, on Annie.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about Jinx's, or excuse me, Deft's Jinx record, but Mako has an absurd Annie record.
Yeah, Name looking at Draven right now. He's just going to put the whole team on his back if he decides to go for that. Instead, decides to go for something a little bit more safe as he's hovering through his list of potential carries. Thresh currently being looked at for 0. Try to deal with that Mako Annie. Hopefully he should be able to land some more hooks. And yeah, there's the Corki on Nami. Name.
Zero could have played Nami, and then it would have been fun. The Nami bot lane.
Oh my goodness.
But instead, it is going to be Thresh on the hands of Zero. He is a patented Thresh player, like many, if not all, of the LPL supports. In fact, all of any professional support players, Thresh is in their repertoire.
Yep.
But especially Zero's Thresh. When Nami wasn't able to play in the first part of Spring Split, Zero could hard carry King to initial early victories with his Thresh pick.
We'll have to see how effective that is as we're getting now to the last pick for Edward Gaming. Baimi returned to the tried and true Cassiopeia. And it looks like that's going to be a Hecarim locked in for Amazing J. So EDG sticking the compositions that they know that they've tried and that work.
Meanwhile, on the other side, Zero trying to poke, Insec trying to poke some fun at Amazing J, but I think it'll be the Gnar. Typically, when you see the Hecarim, you look for the Gnar, you look for an itemizing of the Frozen Mallet into lane phase, because again, it's so effective in walking down Hecarim in an elongated lane like that, with the slow not only on his boomerang, but then empowered on his auto attacks.
We'll see if he decides to lock that in or swaps it for something a little bit more unique.
Shin, please.
Yeah, he was hovering it, looking at Malphite too.
No, not Malphite. Shin, please.
And looks like it's going to be a Gnar.
No surprises there. Kind of shocking, though, that Insec didn't want anything to do with Hecarim. It was fairly obvious that that was going to be EDG's plan all along. They didn't even try to prioritize it at all either, so getting that in the last ban rotation, especially for how effective Amazing J has been on the champion.
Certainly. So with that, we've got our final 2 rosters locked in between them. Very strong composition from EDG. We've seen them go aggressive with this before.
This is the classic EDG comp. They have run this multiple times. In fact, Amazing J, I believe he was the first top laner in LPL to run the Hecarim teleport smite. So
not Flandre?
No, I think I'm 99% that it was Amazing J.
Cool. So Amazing J, you can see he's looking awful happy as he's going up against Insec. on that Hecarim versus Gnar. Now let's talk a little bit about what these team comps are going to do, because EDG, they've got a lot of flexibility in this. They can drag it out with the Cassiopeia. They can go aggressive with the Sivir.
It's about their 5v5. So EDG have always been known as the best team fighting team in China. That's how they got their spot coveted at the top of the LPL. Sivir empowers that. Cassiopeia empowers that. It's about your flank potential, your spacing potential, and just letting Deft run wild. And then likewise, Sivir is so coveted in the LPL because not only does she empower your 5v5, but your macro map movement with her Siege, Wave Clear, and even her ultimate to quickly travel you between lanes.
Yeah, and that's something that we see quite a bit from the LPL teams is when they go for lane swaps, they do try to take early objectives, rush down those turrets, and then continue to keep pressure on the enemy team. But on the other side, you've got King. They've got a little bit more disengaged this time around. You've got Zero's Thresh. You also have the Azir Emperor Divide for splitting people off. We'll have to see how that works out as we load into the game for our game number 2. And we've loaded right on into a pause. This is Edward Gaming versus King. And unfortunately, we're not quite onto the Rift just yet. But let's talk a little bit about these lineups just a bit more, because I want to continue hitting that point on the disengage for King. They've got a much better opportunity to sort of separate from EDG.
They have much more versatility in their composition as well this time around. It's not so pigeonholed into one type of win condition for their team fights. They've got a ton of backline threat. They have multiple damage threats as well, not just in their mid laner. This time Azir hyper carrying as opposed to the Victor. But likewise, Corki's going to do well, especially if he has that first dragon, because the thing that I didn't get to touch on last game is Ezreal and Corki are the only two AD carries that will make the most out of the initial dragon buff, the scaling AP and AD damage, since they do mixed damage. But more importantly, Insec on that Gnar in the top lane is also a damage threat, especially because I'm sure he'll itemize into a Frozen Heart against Hecarim.
We'll see how that ends up working out.
Frozen Heart. Mallet.
That's the one.
He'll build a Frozen Heart too, though.
Eventually. He could go for Randuin's. No, we've seen the Frozen Heart Black Cleaver Randuin's. We saw that earlier today.
Yep, on V.
And that worked out rather well. Despite being shut down earlier in the game, he became a super scary carry.
V is fantastic on Gnar. It is one of his high-impact champions, but I believe we're about to get back on the Rift.
Just maybe. We'll see if Insec is going to be able to pull it off, and I could actually see Gnar working a lot better with his playstyle than Azir. Flash Gnar slam on
you mean
4
Vladimir?
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that being a little bit more effective.
The thing is when you're trying to kind of cobble together Insect's play rate, either through his solo queue or just his history all time, even his experience on the KT roster as a top laner, it's just, it's very scattered, far and few between. So the thing about Insec is he really hasn't nailed down who he is in that top lane.
Not quite yet, but again, this is Edward Gaming versus King. EDG took game number 1, but this is week 6. Day 3, set 2, game 2.
Hey, you got it.
Between the two of these teams.
And this is technically the second time that these rosters have met. Now again,
it is.
EDG, the first time that they played King in this split, they did not play with their Koreans or Name, so it was a very quick and decisive 2-0. Name, the previous AD carry of EDG, their 2014 AD carry, now looking for his grudge match.
Yeah, he definitely is. You saw him take Corki in game number 1. Now he's got it again in game number 2, where he was able to style on Deft and really just outduel him whenever he got the chance. However, EDG as a team were significantly more effective and ended up taking the win despite Name's predilection to beat Deft.
Well, he's going to get another chance this time around because it will be a 2v2 in that bottom lane. Sivir Annie versus Corki and Thresh.
Yeah, and how's that going to work out? I imagine that having an Annie down there was pretty painful.
What I expect to happen, and what typically happens with Corki lanes, is they walk into the lane and they immediately drop their Phosphorus Bomb, their Q, onto the back wave. And what this gives them is the advantage into level 2. That said, Annie has gone through some recent, not super recent, but recent nerfs to her auto attack range, so she's not as oppressive in the lane. But the thing about Sivir is when you lane against Sivir, you're not really laning against Sivir. You're just farming because she pushes you in no matter what.
Yeah, There goes the Phosphorus Bomb as predicted. You've actually got Clear Love already showing himself on the bottom side. The stun finds Name. He takes the belly boop as well. The flash auto, it's first blood onto Clear Love.
Gorgeous, and that's one of the power of Gragas is his level 2 gank threat is so high. He immediately starts the red buff, transitions, and gets that going, knowing that that's how that lane plays out.
So if game 1 was light Clear Love, this is dark Clear Love because he's already turned up the heat 3 minutes in. And he manages to get the kill.
If I was Name, I'd be shooting some very ugly eyes at Clear Love. I'd be throwing some shade.
We'll have to see if he's going to be able to come back from this, as right now, Deft is putting on some aggression. Clear Love found Hui. Did get level 3 first. Knockup is going to find Clear Love now. Flash from zero. They play him forward, and it's Hui who gets revenge, though King tries to turn this around. A great spell shield from Deft. Stops it. Here comes Baimi as well, who is so low. The auto attack is not enough. Name is able to heal him and keep him alive. They turn it around. It's Chaos on the bottom side. 2 for 2 now. Baimi's in there too, but he's out of mana. He doesn't have anyone to help him out. There's the Phosphorus Bomb. Name doesn't have his flash. He wants it so bad, but he can't quite get in there. No, it's Korn who gets it. They now find Deft, but he gets out alive.
A beautiful collapse. So Clear Love tried to transition into Hui's jungle, knowing that they had the advantage on the bottom side of the map. That said, you're jungling against Rek'Sai. She has one of the fastest clear times in the game of any of the junglers, is able to get into position to force Clear Love out. Fantastic collapse from King, and in the end, they actually pull ahead.
They definitely do. About a 700 gold lead in favor of King. 1-0-1 on Korn, 0-1-2 on Name, 0-0-2 on Deft. So all in all, the gold is in the places that it should be for King. And EDG, on the other hand, not quite so fortunate. They've got 1 kill onto Baimi, but double assist for Deft.
I mean, it's pretty much perfectly matched up across the board. The majority of the kill gold went into the mid laners as well as the junglers. So now it's about who is going to be more effective in spreading this early advantage and impacting the map.
So far, it looks like neither of the junglers are too oppressive as to take that pressure and put it anywhere else. Clear Love trying to farm himself back up after all of that early action. Interestingly enough, Insect did not teleport into the fight, even though he had pressured Amazing J on the top side of the map. You'll notice Amazing J does not have his teleport because he did start off with a camp, so deciding to continue pressing that advantage onto Amazing J while Harass continues to find Baimi in the mid lane, and Korn just keeps farming it up.
He is spotted out, however, which is why Baimi wasn't going to go aggressive, just letting the wave push into him to pick up the free CS. I feel like Huey was actually setting up and waiting for Clear Love to gank Baimi and look for a counter gank.
Wasn't quite able to find it that time. So, after all that early excitement, everyone goes back just to a standard laning phase. Insect trading it away with Amazing J, using some of that incredible Gnar burst to keep on punishing him back. Let's see what Amazing J decides to go for. Nope, cancels his recall, stacks into bush, and decides to just hang out for a bit.
It's a great ward on the river there on Hue to tell Baimi that he's constantly pressuring from that side.
Ooh, looks like they might find Clear Love as he was trying to clear a ward, but not quite able to find it. Both of the duos on the bottom side of the map, so we could see an early dragon, but that 500 gold that King had is already answered back. Insect goes low. Amazing J might be trying to kill him here. Does he get the reset in time? Flash, he gets out of range. He gets into the bush, and Insect solo kills Amazing J.
Beautiful job using the flash, and again, the primary difference between Hecarim and Gnar is that one of them is ranged and one of them isn't. So by using his auto attack range to his advantage, using that flash to get out of the oppressive helicopter queue, Insect makes the trade.
He does indeed, gets level 6 first and another kill in favor of King. And that's even going to be Amazing J missing some farm as he's got to hoof it back to the top lane.
Yeah, and that's what's really important. Not only that Insect has the kill advantage now over him as well as the experience in gold, but that it's the double whammy. He then shoves in the wave and denies Amazing J all of that CS.
With that first recall, Insect decides to go for a Phage.
Hey, look, it's a frozen mallet.
Just might be. Wait, Phage built into frozen mallet?
Oh, no, you're right. They changed the ingredients.
Oh my gosh, Colorcaster?
I was so wanting it. No, he's going to go for a Black Cleaver.
Yeah, Black Cleaver first, frozen mallet second.
He just wants to kill him all the time.
I mean, he's already done it once, and now he's got the advantage on the top side of the map. Clear Love clearing away Raptors here. Whoa, gets punished by Korn. Knocked over the wall. Whoa, he tries to belly boop through the Emperor's Divide, but now he just threw away his escape. Hui gets another kill for King.
Okay, let's talk about how bizarre this decision-making was. Your top laner just lost a 1v1 trade, so King is already stronger on the top side of the map. Your mid laner is consistently getting pushed in. Think about the sustained nerfs to Cassiopeia, so Azir is just going to constantly have her underneath her tower, so you have the pressure point there.
Oh, play comes out. Baimi getting some good damage across. Deft takes the Ignite. Auto attack gives Name a free kill. What the heck?
Just walked up and got flayed, and again, if you're looking at the microplay of Thresh, you always lead with the flay because it pretty much guarantees you a death sentence as opposed to finding the death sentence and then connecting to the flay. So you never want to allow Thresh just to walk up to you because it's an easy chain CC. But going back to Clear Love, hello, your top lane just lost. You're invading a Rek'Sai who has Tremor Sense. That was possibly the most dangerous thing you could have been doing, and he got rightfully punished for it.
Just like that, it's now 6-2 in favor of King. They're up 2,000 gold when it's all said and done, and all of the lanes are feeling pretty great. About one minion wave ahead for Insec.
Look, that said, I mean, this is pretty much exactly what we saw last game. King got an early lead, but
they've got a much better composition for transitioning that,
yes.
though. They don't have to worry about Insect's Hemo Plague and Corn dropping the Chaos Storm on top of it. As
Steal
away the red, yeah, pretty solid. And all in all, EDG are being shut down just across the map. Insect continues to trade it back away with Amazing J.
The reason, though, King are able to do that is, so we talk about, you know, how Clear Love made an incorrect decision-making when he walked into the top side. King, they're in every right. They just got the free solo kill onto the bottom lane in the 2v2, so they're already stronger right there. Again, Azir has been putting multiple pressure points onto Corn, but more importantly, Hui, killing Clear Love, has the EXP advantage, so he immediately Void Rush, timed it perfectly with Zero invading for deep wards, and are able to just walk into Clear Love's jungle and take whatever they want. But it's how you invade, and that's the primary difference of why EDG failed versus King succeeding.
Interesting how that worked out. Now Name on the first recall opens up with a Sheen, and Deft is taking some serious harass down there. And Name now 16 CS as Deft continues to take poke despite all of the sustain that he's trying to build it out. Zero zoning them away just by being a nuisance in that bush. And Baimi is going to get the blue buff way. Once again on the bottom side, there's a ping now going down to the Dragon as they see that EDG aren't going to try responding. Yeah, this is Dragon #1 secured for King.
They know that they can fight this, which is why Clear Love is going up to the top side, try to make something happen for Amazing J, because in the 5v5, they have no Dragon control, especially because Baimi's back had timed rather poorly, so good and very clear call from King to take the easy and free objective. Unfortunately for Clear Love, he tries to commit his resources to the top side of the map, but being spotted out by those wards, Insect's just going to back off. So EDG, again, kind of fumble their early objective control.
That is now the first Dragon and 2,000 gold, though they might collapse onto Hui here. He's forced to flash forward. Oh, there goes the Lantern. Wow, max range, and he makes it out.
That Lantern just cost EDG the Ignite, the Flash, and the Cassiopeia ultimate.
Wow. That's a lot of cooldowns right now. King, they took the Dragon, but what else can they take now?
They're just going to go back and elongate their lane phase, continue to itemize for the big 5v5. Again, both these compositions are going to thrive in 5v5s. It's now but execution. The distinction that you make that I like is that King have a lot more versatility about how they use their comp in the 5v5.
Oh, looks like they're going to kill Deft once again on the bottom. CC stacking is not quite enough as the level 6 from Zero locks him out. Name takes some more damage from Mako. Looks like he's going to have to be real careful here. Clear Love coming in from the side. They might just try to dive this. Death Sentence finds Tibbers.
The stiff arm with the Tibbers.
Yeah, not quite able to pull it in. Clear Love coming in from the side. Has the explosive cast. Can he find Name? Doesn't seem like his Name backs off.
Zero is just so oppressive on this Thresh. It used to be pretty much permabanned against him every single time. Of course, on 5.11, there's a lot more power picks that you have to worry about. So letting that go through, it's really refreshing to see King take Zero off of those Morganas, off of those Bards. Not that he can't play them fantastically, but his impact is just complete 180 when he has his hands on Thresh.
Yeah, now this is blue buff going over to Azir. As you can see, Insec in the top lane took that top tier 1 with little contest from Amazing J. Let's see if he decides to go for the ulti and knock him into the wall as well. Challenging Smite being used as there's a lot of damage coming across from Amazing J. He needs to get back into the mini form, finally transforms, and bounces right off.
In a little bit of trouble, but he's going to be fine. He's actually created a sizable CS discrepancy as Name goes forward, but fumbles the cooldown and actually hits a creep.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah, you got to make sure that you clear those minions before you throw the rockets, mate.
I mean, we just saw the same thing from Zero when he stiff-armed the Tibbers, though he goes aggressive. Remember, he doesn't have flash, but again, Dark Passage gets him out.
I actually attribute that to Mako playing well and controlling his pet very well. He does this all the time where he'll block skill shots, as he did with that death sentence using the Tibbers, obviously, whereas that was Name just fumbling his keys.
Yeah. Duo lane once again returns to farming. We're getting closer and closer to that Trinity Force power spike for Name. He's not only 2-1-2, but he's also 20 CS ahead of Deft while continuing to put pressure out there. And Hui is so effective this game. He's been the bottom lane, what, 3 times?
And we talked
4?
about how important Rek'Sai is to King in particular, just because of the play style that it empowers on Hui. He likes to be aggressive to invade the enemy jungler. And it's not that, you know, Gragas and Echo aren't just as effective in the jungle, that they're not just as powerful as picks, but they do not empower invades like Rek'Sai does with her Tremor Sense.
Looks like we could see some action as Clearlove's on this side of the map. Isn't able to make anything happen just yet as he's waiting over the wall right on top of a ward, though.
Mako's got flash.
Yeah, he is. Lands the stun onto Name, though. Dark Passage should get Name out of this one. He turns on the Mako. Lots of damage comes across. There's the stun. It's not quite enough. He flashes out of the belly slam. Double teleport coming across. Zero trying to stall it out.
Oh my god.
He dodges it. Name gets the kill. Here's Insec. He's got Meganar as well going 1v3 right here, but here comes Korn. He's going to be able to get in there. Amazing Emperor's Divide finds 3. This is a slaughter onto EDG. Amazing J manages to trade it back over. Though this is Bamey joining the fight. Knockup finds Bamey. He's going to end up going down, and King pick up 4 kills for 1.
What an amazing collapse from Korn right there to get involved in the back half of the fight. With that winning fight, they'll take this tower, and King have suddenly blown this gold lead wide open.
Yeah, that's a 5,000 gold lead, going to be even larger as it's now the second tier 1 going down, even letting the wave reset a little bit.
Trying to bounce the wave.
Goodness. So unfortunate, and this is King. Take a look at the replay.
What I love here is just how Name outplays EDG, flashing to dodge the CC, and then he picks up the snipe on Mako with the rocket. Then here we go. Korn's coming in for the flank. Insect's really just buying time here until Korn gets in range for the Azir sec. Name does end up going down to the onslaught of Shadow, so they're able to trade nicely here. Good job, Amazing J, but completely whiffed Cassiopeia ultimate. I think he only hits the slow, and with Korn there, with Huey, Void rushing and finding the double knockup, it's just an easy cleanup for King.
Yeah, King feeling so strong about their early game right now as they're up nearly 5,500 gold. They decide to send Name into the mid lane. They've got Zero now helping him out. Though they are now going to swing to the top side of the map. Could be looking to kill Amazing J here. No Frozen Maladies.
They're looking for the blue buff.
J's taking so much damage. Zero now joins him out. Doesn't get... Oh, he does get the Dark Passage. Name out of the shadows erupts and gets a kill.
Zero, though. 2-1-7 on this Thresh. Again, it used to be banned against him. You couldn't let him have it in early spring split before Name was even allowed to play on the King roster, excuse me, the Starhorn Royal Club roster. Zero would just hard carry games. High impact champions like Thresh, he just roaming around, making it happen.
Yeah, now we can definitely see why Deft might be caught out here.
Oh, beautiful.
My gosh. The slide finds him. Spell Shield blocks some damage, but Korn gets another kill. Bamey trying to get some more. Manages to find it onto Hui. Korn caught in the CC lock, ends up going down. Hui manages to knock them up, but he's taking so much damage from Bamey. They're tanking it up right now. Can they get that kill? Not quite. It's a 1-for-1 trade.
But they surely will get the tower. Meanwhile, with so many resources of EDG committed bottom, King are applying pressure on 2 towers. Don't think Name will be able to take this one, but at least love tap it.
Oop, nope, there goes the minion right away. Not quite. He's like, what do I do? I want it so bad. Here come the minions. Now he's going to finally make it there. Early Trinity Force means he should get some great damage across, and Deft is running as fast as he can, but he just cannot quite make it there in time while Amazing J tries to hold Insec off of the top tier 2. So that's the trade. 1-for-1 in kills, but you also lose half of your health on the mid tier 2 turn.
Well, also very important is that EDG committing to that bottom side and making sure, oh, they didn't even take the bottom tier tower. They tried to back and get into position for Dragon, but with Clearlove on an untimely back, this is sacrificed entirely to King.
Fear finds Insec. He's so low. He goes down to Bamey with a great roam, but as you mentioned, the second Dragon goes to King.
Oh Wow, EDG's early objective control is just not with them this set. We'll see if they can turn this one around like they did in game 1. Obviously, they had the 5th Dragon win condition that allowed them to really secure that 55-minute victory.
Yeah, we'll see if this game goes on that long, but King are looking very strong this time. They're significantly more decisive with their maneuvers, and Hui has been all over the place.
I feel like they just generally didn't get outdrafted this game. There's two very strong compositions. Again, they have a ton of flexibility, a lot of versatility about how they want to approach these fights and kind of the different options. There's a lot of poke, pick, siege, things like that.
Looks like Name is going to head back down to the bottom side of the map. Recall gets him now his Bilgewater Cutlass. He has got some serious damage over here, but Bamey hitting some spikes as well as he decided to go for the early Abyssal Scepter.
Again, so much magic damage.
Yep. Stacks
Annie,
up with
Cassiopeia, and Gragas. Heckman will do mixed damage, so just really empowering his team as an aura, just trying to make them stronger for that 5v5. On the other side, though, Korn has a Stinger, so looking for that attack speed to empower Azir's Qs on his Sand Soldiers.
Should be some pretty effective damage out of Korn as he has, again, finished that Morellonomicon. 2-1 and 5, currently up 20 CS over Bamey as he's now catching up in the mid-wave. And Insect continuing to be a nuisance. You know what? I died once in the top lane, going over-extended, over-greedy. I wonder if they'll do it again.
Going for the Black Cleaver, and now the Frozen Mallet.
Let's drop some vision over the wall. Meganar finally falls off. Bamey again in the mid lane, while 3 members of EDG on the bottom. So for now, Insect is safe, though we could see potential collapse try to find him. 19 minutes into the game, and we're seeing a similar outcome to what King had in game number 1, though their lead is a little bit greater this time around. They have a much better composition for trading with EDG. Similarly, they've got wards on wards on wards.
A lot of defensive vision, though, not as much offensive except for that top side of the map, but we'll see if they actually play around it, because right now EDG have pretty much controlled King's bottom lane and forced them to remain on that bottom side of the map as opposed to playing around the vision that they've secured on the top side. Azir?
Pretty interesting. Yeah, Clearlove, Mako, and Deft looking for Name right now. See if they can find him. Come rushing around the side. Deft, let's see if he blows on the hunt. He does indeed. Speed buff is
He's
going
trying
to find him.
lead them away for a Lantern.
Yeah, he is. There goes the Lantern. Is he going to make it on in time? The CC lock is too strong. Even teleport from Amazing J. They try to dive 0, but he flashes and rides the fear to safety.
Beautiful, perfect chain of CC from EDG. The belly bop into the Tibbers, into the cask, layering their ability so it wasn't all just blown out at once. So he couldn't make it to that Lantern.
They're going a 20-minute Baron. What the heck, King, are you doing? I understand you guys like the Baron. EDG have got vision of this. Bamey is running there as fast as possible. There's no teleport. Korn is shredding through it so quickly, but EDG are going to start filtering into this. Oh my goodness.
They tried to commit on it. I mean, that said, ooh, wow, so much damage.
Insect does a lot, but he's overstayed as well.
It was a perfectly fine call, as I'm pretty sure Insect's dead.
Yeah, they're looking for him. There are so many pings going down, but if they overcommit to Insect, they could be
Private
collapsed
Insect
on the side. Slam finds Mako. See if he's able to make it over the wall in time. He just needs to. Oh, he does! The Lantern gets him out. He was just buying time.
That was cute.
0 on this amazing Thresh. I mean, this guy's all over the place.
He should play this. His Nami and his Thresh are incredible. That's all I want to say. And I'm so happy to see him pick it back up and get away from that Bard. Sorry, 0.
Brad is an excellent champion.
Brad is an excellent champion.
Okay, so
0 is not an excellent Brad.
Let's break down why they decided to go for that Baron. Why was that a good call, and why did it not work out?
Because, I mean, you have to think risk versus reward. Okay, so worst case scenario, we see them coming because Insect has such a high pressure point on that map that we're going to see them transitioning. We'll know if they know that we're doing the Baron, okay? They come over, we just disengage. As you can see, Insect flashes over the wall. Everyone's fine. If it's not warded, that's a free Baron at 20 minutes, which is a huge swing of power. So why not go for it?
Almost pick onto Mako as he gets out of there. Great reactions out of EDG, however, to know that that is a possibility and rushing over there. Now they do not have vision of the pit. They've got vision of this area.
Look at all those tunnels.
But there is a veritable network over here.
Neural network, as Papa Smithy would say. Here we go.
Hook comes out, misses Bamey. Let's see if the knockup is going to be enough. The huge divide locks him down, and Bamey gets crushed. Amazing J shortly going to follow. Yeah, he does. Clearlove gets the disengaged cask, but that's 2 kills for King. They might look for another one here as they dash over the wall, perhaps trying to find Mako. Zero rushing forward. The flash, knockout play. The AoE is stacking on top of it. Mako goes down. That's 3 kills now for King. EDG did not respond to that right.
Yeah, just speaking of being responsive, so Clear Love and Deft are still available, so the flash is still up. Zero has a Guardian Angel.
For some reason, Zero has a Guardian Angel. Wei finds Deft as well now. Gosh, that's 4 kills. They keep going it.
It's so cost efficient to have the Guardian Angel this early in the game. He's got both resistances, and the fact of the matter is he's the guy rushing forward, starting all of these fights.
This is insane. Finally, they're going to secure the Baron. Zero almost dies. Oh, that's why he got it. So he could take the Baron. Insect finds Clear Love. He bursts him down. Is he going to be able to get the kill? Is it an ace? It is. King get an ace and the Baron without losing a single member, though I could be wrong as Bamey tries to find Insect here. He's keeping up with it, but Naume turns around, gets stunned at the moment he goes over the wall. They're continuing to fight this out, and he finally ends up going down. That's 6 kills now for 1 and the Baron, but King, holy worth. That's some value.
Insect, come on. Name, he trusted you, and you let him down. Straight into the petrifying gaze. But you're absolutely right. So 1 Baron is missing on King. That's fine. They've got it on another 4, which means, importantly, they can apply it through all 3 lanes. It should be noted that typically when you want a 1-3-1, you do it with your top laner and your mid laner in separate lanes. And since Insect doesn't have the Baron and has the teleport, that's a bit of a deficit. And hold on.
Deft. Oh my gosh. Unfortunately, Spell Shield isn't up. The aggressive flash. Name wants the kill. Doesn't quite find it, but he's got a really big wave on that side of the map. They're trying to get onto the tier 2 turret as another one goes down. Zone control being tossed left, right, and center, and suddenly all 3 inner turrets are dead. This minion wave still has not been cleaned out. It's going to get onto the inhibitor turret now. Bamey finally dropping some AoE. The teleport from Insect. They're going to take this inhibitor turret here. Shoving forward, Clear Love trying to force a fight. The explosive cast doesn't find it.
Clears the wave though, so giving them a breather to get back into position. We'll see how EDG look towards this fight. Wow, King are actually completely respecting them, disengaging now. Of course, they still have to be afraid because Mako's flash is about to come up, and they know that Annie has the Tibber stun. Don't want to completely... I feel like they're having flashbacks from the first game. Remember that time when we all had Baron and we face-checked into Mako and we all died?
Let's not do that again. Once again, Insect in the mid lane, continuing to siege forward. Baron buff still going to be up for about another minute for King, perhaps a minute and a half as they try to take some more objectives as that minion wave is now being cleared. Mako going for a bit of a recall here. I can't believe that's a Guardian Angel Quicksilver Sash on
Really?
Zero.
You can't believe that that Zero built a GA on a support? That's shocking to you?
That is a thing.
Have you seen him?
That is an absolute thing. Oh, looks like they do return back down to the bottom side. Name dashes over a wall to try to catch up with the rest of his team. The inhibitor turret goes down. Deft takes so much damage here. He could be dived, but doesn't look like King want to commit to it just yet. Tweet does not have his own flash, so they're waiting for either a hook from Zero or Insect jumping in.
Again, remember, EDG on good terms with King scrim them more often. So King do have a lot of exposure. And we talked about, how EDG are kind of trying this thing where, they experiment one game, then they go into classic EDG the second game. Don't empower him.
He's not even clear the minions. Oh man, Insect is having a blast this game.
He's holding on to his Mega Gnar, obviously.
Damage. Yeah, he is holding on to that Mega Gnar.
That's what's happening.
Headbanging EDG to death right now. He still hasn't procced it. I am impressed.
Don't empower him. Don't zoom in.
Oh yeah, we're going to look at Mako instead as he's going to try counter.
Oh,
the flash stun finds Name. He's knocked under the turret. He actually goes down, but Insect trades it right back. The AoE is huge. Amazing J comes in, but it's too little, too late. King, they're actually losing a lot of members here as they're all stacked up, and the only survivor is Zero. The Quicksilver Sash comes into effect. Is he going to be able to make it out of this one? Amazing J is chasing him down.
He's got the GA.
I know, if he makes it under the
He's
turret,
going to the Raptor
he's gonna
camp.
Be fine. Is he going to make it over the wall? Oh my gosh. Oh, he makes it out of there. Zero makes it out alive.
Didn't pop the GA hashtag worth. Thank you, Mako. Put Insect in his place. How dare he headbang at you?
Oh my gosh, what an incredible play. EDG managed to turn it around, however. The inhibitor turret is still standing.
You can bet that they're all looking at each other now saying, okay, maybe we should play this one a little bit seriously.
Wait, what are we playing? Oh shoot, EDG.
A fantastic flash tibbers turns the tide on King. And again, we talked about, remember what happened? They face check into Mako, they lose their Baron. Deja vu. Here we go. Mako's, I've had enough of this. Name immediately deleted. Shane CC. Insect gets a nice stun onto the tower at 3 members, but it's the tower versus 4 members of EDG. There's a lot blinking red, but Amazing J arriving just in time.
Yeah, just barely making there in time to pick off Corn before he's able to get too much damage across. And man, that was a chaotic engagement. Now, there was an opportunity for King to recall. We can see the Rabadons has now been finished for Corn, so he can't shred through some more effective targets. Hui having to go even more full tank because he knows Zero is going to be absolutely useless with that Guardian Angel.
What are you? He survived.
He did.
He's got the. Who's gonna carry the? The carry has to have the GA and the QSS. Who do you think's 3, 1, and 11?
That is the most amazing thresh build I've ever seen.
I support you, Zero.
I think I built that once in an ARAM.
Now, obviously, it would have been much better gold spent if Zero had completed his Shirelias, especially because he's facing across a Sivir, and it's a great answer to counter her ultimate. So,
however, he does
gold
not have that
as efficiently spent for Zero. That said, GA still up.
Wildly effective. Exceptionally
He's
so.
winning.
We're 29 minutes into the game. Dragon's up in a minute. Baron's up 14 seconds after that. King took the first one thanks to a lapse in EDG's judgment in which they trickled in 1 by 1. Trickle down EDG.
This is how EDG came back in the first game. King, if I were them, I would be having deja vu. It'd just be flashbacks.
We'll have to see if they continue committing the same mistakes as that Dragon is now up in 30 seconds. Things are going down.
It's important to note that King do have the bottom inhibitor, and if you are going to have one for the second Baron, it's probably the most important just because as long as they can keep that down, they can play with that pressure point on the map. So you either come and you stop us at Baron, we can stall you out, or you lose your base to super minions on the bottom side of the map. Also very important that both teleports will be available, so we'll see how King set up that play in the next 17 seconds.
Yeah, it looks like they do want to secure that 4th Dragon for themselves. First, you've got EDG on the other side of the map setting up for the Baron. Dragon's going down fast, but not too fast, as finally it's going to drop, and they managed to secure it.
This is clever. So EDG have already taken advantage and set up. Oh, Mako was spotted out. They were trying
to teleport. Insect from the backside doesn't have Meganar, but he's locking EDG into position, trying to seal in the flavor for when King manages to catch up with them. Oh, the death sentence gets dodged. Insect is going to be able to take the Lantern out of there. Amazing J is slowed. He manages to get onto Corn once again. Name and Corn are stacking up. That's not where they're supposed to be. Flash gets Name out of there. A great slide from Corn, kicks all of EDG in, but he doesn't want that. He's taking so much damage right here. The GA is popped, and suddenly with Name and Corn dead, King have got to back away, and EDG are on top of that Baron.
A huge ultimate from Bayming turns that fight, forcing Insect and Zero away. This is a free Baron, and this is what we were talking about. King, game 1, post-traumatic stress disorder. This is exactly what happened to them.
They're trying to recall right now, but having some trouble getting the recalls
Insect's
across.
Trying to trade the inhib.
Yeah, he is right now, but the empowered recall gets them there back in time, and on top of that, it increases health regeneration and provides a movement speed buff. They're catching up to Insect. He bounces away. Bayming makes sure he's in melee range before he finishes him off.
Oh, wow. King must be kicking themselves.
Oh, yeah, making the exact same mistakes from game number 1. On the upside, they have 4 dragons. They've got that going for them.
Yeah, win condition is on to that 5th dragon. That said, EDG firmly in control, at least for the next 4 minutes while they have that Baron buff and they're able to manipulate the waves on the map.
What are those minions doing?
Just chilling. They don't actually exist.
They're just hanging out. Yeah. They don't even like the Baron buff. They're like, we don't need your stinking Baron buff.
Here we go.
Yeah, here's a breakdown.
So what's really important here is that Baymy's flash is burned, but just the counter engage and just how much damage Baymy's is doing. We talked about late game Cassiopeia, and look at this ultimate, bam, right across 3 different members, and there's just nothing King can do. Great use of different change CC, and again, layering those abilities. Mako following it up, finding the Tibber stun on Name in the back, so Big issue also was that Insect didn't have his Meganar until the very back half of that fight.
Yeah, that was also kind of a problem. And despite an excellent slide play out of Korn, he and Name were sticking with the buddy-buddy system just a little bit too much.
Mako punished them for it.
Oh, he definitely did. And now we can see Mako with the Righteous Glory dropping ward after ward deep into King's jungle. They still have the Baron buff for about another 2 minutes. So we'll see if they can make anything happen with this buff as they look to be setting up a pressure point on the bottom side of the map.
The difference when you itemize correctly on a support, and you take a Righteous Glory as well as Distortion Boots, so you can empower what your support actually does.
Yeah, it seems like Zero was a little overzealous off of that early game, and EDG is very strong right here. Insect gets his Meganar pop. Not quite able to find anything just yet. EDG sitting, waiting, wishing.
Just need to continually run King around the map, shore up the discrepancy between the towers, look for that 5th dragon. They know that they need to fight King for it, but they have at least 2 minutes before they need to worry about it.
Ooh, EDG with a pressure point on the top side. Look to take down that top tier 1. Mako still has the Baron buff, so yep, the Empowered minions get under there in time, and the turret is going to end up going down as Amazing J helps to polish that off. And all in all, that's now 2 turrets taken for King on both sides of the map.
And very quickly, what was a 7k gold lead has shrunk to a 3k gold lead for King.
Yeah. Deft very scary as he completes his 3 items. And man, Bamey is a monster. Involved in 13 out of his team's 15 kills right now. He has been all over the place, and his damage is so scary.
And again, it's about fighting for your power spikes. So I'm glad the fact that you pointed out not only Bamey's build, but also Deft's build. Having those 3 completed items, the penetration on the Last Whisper, the Zeal upgrade in the form of the Static Shiv, and the Eye Edge. So this is where a lot of traditional AD carries really find themselves, and when they're the strongest is when they have that 3 core, whereas Corki's going to have a mid-game power spike since he's really just relying on the completion of his Trinity Force. So this is when Sivir's gonna start to take off as far as just putting out ridiculous damage.
Yeah, we'll have to see if he's going to be able to really shred through targets as Dragon's now up in about 85 seconds. There's a lot of deep wards from EDG that King are desperately trying to clear out right now. Hui going so aggressive to clear out that pink. He knows Amazing J is right down there, and EDG are kind of panicked by that.
I love how Rek'Sai like break dances on wards to clear them.
Yep.
Insect trying to hold on to his Meganar. Now remember, a big issue in the last fight on that Baron was the fact that Meganar wasn't procced until pretty much the fight was over and done with. Insect can be sure that he will not make that mistake again.
Yeah, he's losing his rage bar right now as he hasn't been in combat for a little while, and it seems like it might decrease completely by the time that Dragon's up. He's going to have to start proccing it just a bit. Yeah, finally he gets it. Starts to build it back up just a touch.
So here we go, 40 seconds. What are the big ultimates that need to happen here? Pointed out before, the Meganar is very important, so be sure to watch how Insect is handling his rage. On the other side, keeping Bamey alive. You have tons of tools in the Sivir ultimate, the On the Hunt, as well as the Reset, the Cask, to chain the CC and to keep Bamey safe and putting out sustained damage to this fight. So if Bamey goes down, if Insect can proc Meganar properly, or if Bamey can stay alive, will mean the difference between victory and defeat for this game.
Amazing J with a timely recall should be able to make it back in time as he's playing Hecarim right now with that home guard teleport ready and rearing to go. Dragon spawns. King are in the pit. Wards left, right, and center for EDG. They do not want this thing to be stolen. Insect trying to proc that rage. Don't let it fall too low before the fight breaks out. Finally gets it building again. Here comes the teleport from Amazing J. Let's see if he's going to be able to get in there in time. He rushes into the front line, but can't quite commit to it as Clearbuff flanks from the side. King out by that pixel brush.
Insect doing a great job managing his rage. Here he goes.
And they get it. He is going to get to Meganar in time. Dragon actually resets. It looks like EDG are just going to get onto the back line. There's the Gnar Slam, but it doesn't find anyone. King is able to kill Bamey. Deft kiting it out on the backside, but Huey's right on top of him while it's chaos in the pit. Insect stacking up all of his AoE as best he can. Amazing J goes low. Korn slides so far. He finds Amazing J. Styles Zonia's, but King just don't have enough damage on top of it. Deft finally ends up going down. Hui continues to chase him out. Zero's Guardian Angel procced again. He's turning now onto Clearlove. Amazing J tries to chase him out of the fight. He ends up going down. Hui is the last survivor. EDG are going to be able to turn this around. He finds Hui. He's going to end up getting the ace. No! He makes it over the wall. And a completely chaotic fight. Why is he recalling there of all places? Oh my goodness, EDG are going to scare Hui away.
Corn, what are you doing? That fight was so good for King. Bamey immediately deleted it off the map, but Corn completely threw it back to EDG by dashing into the middle of them.
Oh man, the dragon's still up. Amazing J with the home guard dashes to the pit faster than one of Santa's reindeers.
What?
And EDG are going to be able to take this dragon away. That's their first. You do see Name rushing there as fast as he can, but he's got to compete with 2 smites. There is the Void Rush available, but no tunnels to go to. Name's trying to get there as fast as he can.
He's competing with 2 smites.
Yeah, he's not going to get it. And there it is. Clear Love secures it. Amazing J hops the wall.
Everything almost went right for King for that fight. We talked about what are the win conditions for the other team. Here we go. Insect does a fantastic job managing his rage bar. We have the Meganar at the initial part of the fight, and what's so important is that Bamey is taken out very early, but likewise, he does manage to take Name down with him. Now here's where things start to get a little hairy. If Corn had just kept kiting back and let his front line work for him, as opposed to putting himself in the entire middle of the team.
Oh, looks like a fight for Baron right now, and EDG actually managed to secure it there. No, it's actually King who secured the Baron, but they managed to kill Insect. Guardian Angel is now popped for him. Zero is already dead. This is going to be Insect going down despite trying to hop the wall. 2 kills. Whoa, Hui, why are you recalling in the weirdest places?
Okay, so what I'm going to assume happened is that it was a Desperation Baron to King, although it looked like it may have been a still. I'm sure we'll get the replay on that one, but what I assume happened is EDG had to back after securing the dragon to deny 5th dragon from King, which then allowed King to look towards the Baron as a quick rush. And again, this late into the game, it's very easy for either of these teams to burn that objective down. Azir's Baron control is absurd, as well as Cassiopeia's.
Oh, Clear Love waiting in the wings, looking for Name, doesn't quite find him, just zones him off of the tier 2 turret. And despite having Baron buff, King cannot commit without Insect. And they decide to back away and let the tier 2 turret fall. Now it's only about a 3,000 gold lead between these two, and this game is remarkably similar to game number 1. In fact, almost identical.
The difference is that King got the 2nd Baron.
They did.
So...
And they've got more dragons this time around.
Sigh of relief. They are actually in EDG's position. Their chances are still open.
Yeah, they certainly are. I mean, we saw how King have made some questionable decisions. Hui's recall locations, Corn's dashing into team fights.
Zero's Guardian Angel.
Which has come into effect now twice. I don't have words, but here's the dragon. Looks like King tried to
Okay, yeah, so it was a Desperation Baron. They knew that they had outmaneuvered EDG simply because EDG had committed to that dragon fight to deny 5th dragon. They immediately ran to the Baron. EDG don't quite make it in time, and King secure a very nice sigh of relief.
Insect actually runs back into the pit instead of just hopping over the wall to try saving Hui, but Hui is a little bit trickier than that on that Rek'Sai. So now Baron is secured for King. We're 40 minutes in. It's a 3-kill difference between the two. Only 3,000 gold. This is an incredibly even game as objectives are traded back and forth and back and forth. Though there is that bear inhibitor on the bottom side of the map, King should be looking towards that as their next objective.
Can we talk about Insect's build? Look at that. That is a Frozen Mallet, a Black Cleaver, a Guardian Angel as well.
Yeah.
There's no Randuin's Omen. There's no Frozen Heart. There's no Spirit Visage. There's no respect.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, you saw the banter that he had earlier on with the popping up and down the taunt onto EDG, just not quite able to find it, though. Once again, King sieging bottom. They still got the Baron buff grouped up nice and tight for that
the dream is
onslaught
alive.
of shadows. Here comes Mako, throws the Righteous Glory. Name waiting for the aggressive flash to try to flash out on his own.
Zero is doing a great job making sure that he's not spaced next to Name. He expects Mako to flash Righteous Glory on top of him. He has the Crucible available, so finally has itemized an actual support item.
Yay!
To assist his AD carry.
Oh, Death Push being set up now by King as they retreat into EDG's jungle.
There's no reason for them to go over there now.
Name's trying to bait it out. I don't know, it just seems like it might, though, as they find Clear Love. Not quite able to find anything, however.
There's literally nothing over there for them. There's no reason for them to be there at all. The fact that they did face check into it was a little bit concerning.
Yeah, so King once again returned to the siege. They still have Baron buff for another few minutes. Trying to take down that inhibitor. Legacy of Shurima turret ends up going down as Insect. Oh, is this Mega Gnar going to pop? No, it's not quite yet.
Headbang.
All right, now it is. There's the barrel coming out from Clear Love.
And
now
with
they back off.
that Mega Gnar forced out, pretty much King are like, okay, we've sacrificed our big advantage there by holding that and applying pressure. So they immediately back up. They should respond to their building wave in the top side and reset the map pressure, which is why you immediately see EDG erupt out of their base. They need to start getting deep vision and control over the bottom side of the map.
Oh, interesting play from King. Looks like they do want to try swinging back down to the inhibitor depths there to defend it. Big wave again, building on the top side of the map. I think they want to keep pressure down here until that dragon spawns, because Dragon 5 is up in a minute, and EDG are on the wrong side of it.
Yeah, a little bit of a missed timing window. There we go. So Insect's finally responding to the big wave top. They need to back, refresh their sight stones, their wards, things like that, and start setting up their vision for the dragon. Because again, that's the big win condition for King, is that 5th dragon. They know that EDG has to fight them, and they just have to prep for it accordingly.
Yeah, you can see they're clearing out that wave on the top side of the map. Dragon now 30 seconds away. No vision for EDG as they had to let it all fade away for the duration of that Baron buff. Dangerous position to be in. Sight stones being emptied by both Mako and Clear Love, while the sweepers of King are going wild trying to clear these wards. 15 seconds before that dragon is up. Scuttlecrab has been secured. Everyone is sitting and waiting in anticipation for this dragon.
There is no upgraded Oracle's trinket on the side of King.
Not a one. Dragon spawns. EDG are around the side. They finally sweep that ward out. They're in the pit right now trying to get some poke across. Let's see if they manage to pull it off.
Okay, again, it's all about the Insect and his Mega Gnar. Juggling that appropriately. Baby needs to stay alive.
5v5, the Baron's going low now. 2,000 health. It's
Doesn't
secured by EDG. Will they try to turn this into the fight? Insect's holding onto it. He knocks Amazing J away. Mako dashes in for the flash stun, but it's not enough. A huge dodge gets them all out of there. Korn is still alive in the back. Once again, flashes aggressively forward. Zero, Hui, and Korn are on to Baby right now. Insect's GA is popped. 3 members of EDG are dead. Name is now going to run around the outside of the pit. So far, none of the members of King have died. They're going to find Clear Love here. He goes down. That's 4 members dead. Amazing J is going to try to buy some time for his team. But King are going to rush down towards the base. Can they end the game? They're trying as fast as they can to get to the Nexus. Amazing J is their sole hope. Will he be able to do it?
If Insect kills Amazing J here, he can just teleport to a ward and tank for his team on the Nexus towers.
Yeah, he just had to go back in, waited for the stun to come out from Nexus. Insect has his own. Home guard procced. The sole hope for EDG. They're very low health here.
Oh, he misplayed that. He should have gone back and healed and then teleported. I still think they'll get it.
Yeah,
they've got too many death timers.
Number 1. Now they're going to be looking for Nexus turret number 2. Amazing J trying as best he can. He's looking for Name. Can't quite find him. He actually does kill Name. The Nexus is going low. Is he going to be able to save it in time? It's so low health. It finally pops. King split the series 1-1 with EDG.
They finally execute the composition correctly, but look at their faces. Zero does not look happy.
Yeah. Poor Deft. Oh, man. What an amazing game he had.
Oh, okay. From game 1, we said King. That's not how your win condition is played. You have to stack Vladimir ult on Victor ult. Never happened to EDG. Mow through them late game. This time around, they fumble initially the Mega Gnar with Mako on a sweet flash Tibbers play on that mid inhibitor, but in the last dragon fight, playing around that 5th dragon win condition, they finally get it right. They take out Baimi, and without Baimi, EDG didn't have the late game damage to shred through the tankiness, the double GA of King.
Yeah, the double GA. Oh my goodness, what an amazing play from King. It seems like they were getting a little bit silly after a very oppressive early game, the very aggressive lead that they have, but eventually EDG started to punish them for it, and by the time we got to the mid game, EDG were looking to overcome them once again, but just didn't happen.
Just a little bit silly.
Yeah. The Quicksilver Sash Guardian Angel, did he still have that at the end, or did he sell it?
He had it.
Oh boy, that was an item.
That said, congratulations to King. Obviously, they split 1-1 with EDG. Should be noted that EDG won their game where they were experimenting, playing with kind of a different composition. When they go back to playing true to EDG, the Sivir, the Cassiopeia, the Hecarim, things like that, they end up losing the series.
Yeah, curious enough. And again, that was with Bamey and Amazing J. So Koro and Pawn are going to be coming back soon. So hopefully that can sort of clean up some of those mistakes. I mean, we've seen how it's been Koro, Pawn, and Amazing J, and then they add Koro and Bamey for the different styles. So it should be unique.
That's one word. That was a unique set.
Yes, it certainly was. But that's King splitting the series 1-1 with EDG. We're going to go and take a quick break while we get the next game set up.